I'm Gene Winfield. I'm here in Syracuse, New York, and behind me on each side of me is the 6 select cars that I pick from the entries. Now there might be 100 entries or 120 entries, whatever it is, but I pick 6 of those we call the 6 select. And then those come here and they each get $1,000 for being here and a jacket and a special little plaque with my copy of the Winfield Award on it. So anyway, tomorrow on Saturday I will choose one of the 6 to get the Winfield Award, and whoever gets my award gets $10,000, and the money is from McGuire's polish and waxes. So the car has to be chop channeled or sectioned. I do not pick a car that is not chop channeled or sectioned. So that's the first priority. Then I try to get a group of unique automobiles of various sizes, shapes, colors, things like that. So I want them to all be kind of different. I don't want like 6 Mercurys or 6 Ford pickups or whatever. I try to choose a variety, and then because of the cars are so unique and they have so much work in them that I have to go underneath, and the final decision is partly determined on how much work they have on the bottom side, how much chrome and detail and paint and everything like that. So it all has to enter into it. So you could have a beautiful car on the outside that might have $100,000 in the body and paint, and then the underneath might be just painted black. So naturally, if another car has, $50,000 or $100,000 worth of work underneath of it, it has to enter it in my mind. So I try to go by the total amount of work, not the money. I don't care how much they paid, whether they paid $5,000 or $100,000, but I try to go by the total amount of work that was done to the automobile.
So hello, the name of my dad is Luc Leblanc, and he made this car behind us. It is a 1949 Mercury Monarch, and we're from Victoriaville, Quebec, Canada. Okay, 90% of the car is modified. So for example, if you would like to take an original 1949 Mercury Monarch and put the parts on this car, for example the doors, it would not fit. So most of the parts of the car have been modified. Also, the back doors are suicide, and he took for the front doors, he took the doors of a 2-door model of a Mercury Monarch, and he cut the rear door to fit it there. The top is chopped of 4 inches, and the whole body is chopped also of 4 inches, for a total of 8 inches lower than the original Mercury Monarch. So that's why the car is really low. And there is an air suspension under the car, so we can put it up and down whatever we want. And the frame is channeled. Yeah, the frame is channeled, and the whole frame is painted in black. So the underneath of the car is really nice. It's even nicer than the top of the car. So and the engine in the car is an LS1 from a Corvette. So that's the engine in the car, and he made all the parts by his hand in his garage, and it took 13 years to make the car. So the whole frame has been made with his hand, and for example the grille at the front, he made it all with his hand, and he sent it to chrome, and that's why it's really nice. So the favorite feature of the car of my dad, I will talk for my dad because he's not speaking French. So the favorite feature that he likes a lot is the fact of having chopped the top 4 inches, because the windows are really low. That's what he really likes on the car.
My name is Timothy Hazy from Houston, Texas, and this is Elaine Mayfield, our partner on the ownership of the car. It's a 1956 custom Cadillac Roadster. It started out as a 56 Coupe de Ville, and we went through and did a bunch of custom mods to it, which is we extended it 4 feet, 30 inches in the middle and 16 inches in the back to allow for a custom Continental kit tucked behind the bumper. It has a full tube chassis under it and Mustang 2 suspension. The only thing original on the chassis or drivetrain to this car is the 1956 rear end. It has a 2002 Chevy Silverado LQ4 engine with 4L60 transmission, push button electric shifter. The color on the car is a custom mix by Matrix refinisher system, and it's called Electron Blue. It's been darkened just a little bit for us. We chopped the top off. We did a roadster deck on it, did the suicide half doors, in which we cut the doors and welded the bottom section to it, give it a little more strength, and we wanted a little European flair, a little European look to it. And then I would say the biggest feature that we like about the car is the copper plating on all the trim and everything, because it stands out. It makes the car different from the rest, and that's what we like the most about the car. Full leather interior with 61 T-Bird bucket seats and a hand-formed, hand-steamed bird's eye maple center console in the car.
Hi, my name is Marcy Mokenthan, and I'm from Giddings, Texas, just outside Austin. My car is the 1963 Buick Riviera X11 concept car. Basically, we took a Riviera and then did things that GM could have done to make a factory fastback that never existed. Most people notice the roof and the wheels first. The roof is from a Mercury Cyclone, and the wheels were custom done to fit on Pontiac 8-lug brake drums. But pretty much every body panel on the car has been reworked. There's a lot of very subtle things, but all keeping in a GM theme, so that it could have been something GM could have done in the mid-60s. My favorite part about the car is the subtle body modifications. There's the things that people notice, like the roof and the wheels, but every panel has been modified. There's a hidden pop-up panel for the windshield wipers. The whole hood was reskinned with a 61 Cadillac hood to take out scoops and give it a peek. At the back, a whole nother Riviera is flipped upside down to make facets that go around instead of tail off. So just subtle things the factory could have done if they would have wanted to.
Okay, my name is John Fleming. This is my wife, Diana. 52 years together. So, this is a 1939 Lincoln Zephyr convertible. And it's an all-steel car. It was an original convertible. I found, back up, we're from Asher, Oklahoma, a little town of 450 people. So, we're not used to the big cities. Anyway, we found this car on the internet. It had been on about 30 minutes. It was in Florida, and of course we're in Oklahoma. I called the man, I told him I'm on my way to see it. And I got down there, and it was a pretty sad situation. It had been a restored car in 2003, and he bought it out of California, took it to Florida, tore it apart, sold all the good pieces, all the original stuff, and when they sandblasted it, it was come apart, and everything had to be redone. So it was cheaper to go street rod than it was original. I ended up purchasing it and took it back to Oklahoma. 5 years later, this is what we come up with. The special feature about the car, I've always wanted a 39 or 40 Lincoln Zephyr convertible. There's only 12 or 14 left in existence. Lucky to get it, proud to own it, lifelong dream, and we're thankful for being here and a privilege to be in the top 6.
Hi, my name is Jesse. This is Jessica Wolfson, and this is our youngest son, Bane, and we're from Fremont, Michigan. It's a 1940 Mercury 2-door custom convertible, and it's original convertible. Wasn't a coupe and then taken down. It's got a 350 Chevy drive line. Actually, everything came out of a 1968 Z28 Camaro. It's been chopped 3 inches, it's been channeled. It's all sitting on air right now. We decided to do that this past winter because we kept breaking things, running boards, fender skirts, causing damage, because we like to drive it, we drive it everywhere. But when it was only sitting just a couple inches off the ground, it made it hard. So really, other than that, that's all we've done to it ourselves. Everything's been smoothed on it. Favorite feature, we like the rear skirts, the way they've been molded to the body. And then probably the second best feature is that it's got clips in the rear seat for kid seats.
My name is Jack Sorich, and this is my wife Kitiko, and this is our son-in-law Chris Casey, who came from California. My wife and I are from Louisville, Kentucky. We have a 1956 Ford pickup here, which we've brought it all the way from Louisville, Kentucky to here. I've owned this truck for 45 years. It's gone kind of like everywhere with me. Yeah, the truck, the 1956 Ford pickup that I have here has a numerous amount of bodywork on it. First, there's a 2-inch chop top. Then the doors are rounded. There's molded front and rear bumpers. The rear bed is a one-piece bed that's tied into the frame, and of course the windows are tinted. It does have a GM motor in it, which is supercharged, chromed, and a lot of metalwork inside the engine compartment. The upholstery is a bucket seats, tan leather, and with a special made console, free floating, that is between the bucket seats. The headliner has the stereo and radio input into it, and the wheels are Colorado custom, 17-inch in the front and 20-inch in the back. The suspension is airbagged all the way around. It also has the Wildwood brake systems on all four wheels. The drive shaft is shortened to fit underneath, and the rear end is a 9-inch Ford rear end. Transmission is a GM transmission. There's a lot of fabrications in the engine as well. It does have the original radiator in it. We've done some modifications for the covering of it and the presentation of it. There is handmade fender walls inside, as well as covers for the exhaust system. Okay, one thing that I didn't mention, what happens to be my favorite feature is of course the paint job. It's PPG. It's a radiant red base, and then it has graphics that is in a pearl beige, along with a candy brandy wine, and then it's all outlined in a multiple leaf colors that kind of have a metal flake in it. And so that's really my favorite part of the truck.